Hi guys, it's Angie again. This is the July card kit for the month, and this is what you received in your kit. Some pre-scored, pre-cut pieces of cardstock, 2 cellophane packets with a bunch of cutout materials in them, a blender pen, which is this, and a Marina Mist marker. That's the blue color, and the By the Seashore stamp set, or whichever stamp set you chose this month. And I'm going to start with By the Seashore, just to start out for the demonstration or the instructional video part of it. I cut out 2 different sizes. Well, it ends up being a standard card, but one is a top fold card. This one folds top down, and the other one is the side fold card. So I just wanted to give you guys a little variety. Same layout. You'll just do your design on the front of the card the same, but one will open from the side and one will open from the bottom. So go ahead and fold on the score lines and use your bone folder to make sure that's nice and tight, that crease. And then open up your cellophane bag of cutout materials. You'll need 1 piece of large white, 1 piece of brown, and 1 piece of the smaller white for each card that you make. So there'll be 4 large, 4 brown, and 4 smaller whites in this cellophane bag. Put those other things to the side. Now, what I do with this first one is I'll just start by adhering the large piece of white on the card front. Just using my snail adhesive all the way around on the edges, and I'd like to do one in the middle as well, and center it as best you can before you place it down firmly. That's good for me. And then I've placed the brown, adhered the brown as well, all the way around. And center that. I like to leave about a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch around all sides at the top there. And then this bottom part is where we will add our sentiment. Happy day to you. Oh no, not happy day, sorry. This is the whatever you choose. I'll probably put You Are Simply Wonderful from the Friendly Phrases stamp set that you got the first month. Or maybe I'll do To My Friend. That's what I'll do. So I'll find that here. And this is my block. The size is the size C block, and I like to center it as best I can, and then I go ahead and just I push down pretty hard on it just to make sure it's adhered to the block, and then open your ink pad. And this is the new firm foam pad, so just have to do it a couple times lightly, make sure you got it all on there, and then go ahead and center it wherever you'd like it. I want to do mine off to the right hand side, straight down and straight up, and there it is, To My Friend. Put that aside to be cleaned later, and I'll close this back up. Actually, wait, I'll leave it open. Next I have my smaller white piece of paper that I'm going to center right here in the middle, and that I'm going to bump up with dimensionals. But first, before I do that, I am going to use this stamp set By the Seashore to get my image on there, because if I mess up, I can always turn it over and use the back side. I can always, if I make a mistake on the front, just turn it over, use the back side, and then adhere it to my card. So I think I like the starfish image. That's what I'll use for for this card. So again, put it on the block and then turn it over and press down to make sure it's adhered quite nicely. And then go ahead and ink it up on your stamp pad. And then huff on it if you want. And stamp away. Straight down and straight up. I think I like that. It's pretty good. Okay. I'll put that aside and let this dry a little bit. These new juicy pads get a little bit inky, and I don't want it to smudge at all. So now I will go ahead and find your dimensionals. These are the octagonal foam. Well, they're foam and they're adhesive. So I put one on each corner or thereabouts, just in order to give it a little bit of a boost, a little dimension on my card. Now go ahead and bring your card front back, and when you have it about where you want it, I was going to say too, when I cut the cardstock out, it depends on how sharp my my blade is, but sometimes if you're a perfectionist like me, you'll notice on some of the edges it's raised up. You can just use your fingernail and run it along the side. That'll flatten it back down. Or if you have a bone folder, this is the bone folder that Stampin' Up! Sells. It's I believe made out of bone. And it's nice to use. You could just smooth that along the edges, and that will take the lip right out of the edge there. Okay, so I will go ahead and remove the backing from the adhesives. And again, center the white part where I'd like it on my card. It should fit right in there nicely. And press down, make sure it's adhered, and it just kind of gives it a nice nice dimension, a little shadow to it. When you send that card off, it'll go through the mail just fine with no extra shipping charges, but it just kind of gives it a little bit extra dimension, and it makes it nice. Now, in order to get a little bit extra color in there, I've given you this blender pen, and the blender pen is the clear one, and the colored marker is the Marina Mist, and that matches the blue cardstock that I sent to you. What I like to do is just take your chocolate chip ink pad and open it up, and I've already got some colors on here. You just take your the edge that looks like a paintbrush, open it up, and go ahead and just color it on the plastic part of your ink pad. Now take your blender pen, and both ends are the same. They're just both like a paintbrush. And now you just it's just clear liquid in there. You go ahead and pick up some of that paint on your tip, and you can just drop that color right into wherever you'd like it, right on the edges. If you pick up more color, it'll be darker, but then as you color on, it just kind of lightens right up, just like watercolor would, and it gives it some really good kind of a watery feel to it, watercolor feel, which is kind of nice for this by the Seashore stamp set. And I don't worry too much about staying in the lines, because I think it looks kind of artistic when you go out of the lines a little bit. But you know, perfectionists out there, I'm sure, would like to stay in the lines. So, well, however you like it, it's your card. And if you decide you want to try to do this before you adhere it to your card, I would go ahead and say that's a good idea. Probably stamp the image, do the blender pen technique, get the color in there that you'd like, and then adhere it with your dimensionals on the side. So in case you do want to do something a little different, you can flip this over and start over if you don't like how it comes out. Now if you have a couple, you know, different markers around, you can do the same thing. Add some different color. I have a little purple here. I can pick up some darker purple and add it into the image as well. Gives it a little bit more dimension and color. You can also, you know, use green or whatever you feel like using. And since we stamped this in the chocolate brown, the more you rub this blender pen on the image, it actually will pick up some of that brown and smudge it a little. So you kind of want to, if you want it to be a crisp image, you want to just go in a little bit. You know, you don't want to go over it and over it and over it. Otherwise, this will turn kind of muddy. So go ahead and practice with that. It's a really fun technique. And I like the colors that it, or the way it turns out. Now to get your blender pen clean, all you do is you take a scratch piece of cardstock and you just scribble it until the ink is all gone. It runs clear liquid all the way through the tip, and the color that you just picked up will be out on this scratch piece of cardstock, and it's fresh and clean, ready to go with any new color that you want to put on it. So have fun with that technique. Here's your finished card, looking glamorous and beautiful. And it's just a simple card, but it just shows you how simple, clean lines also look, I think, look very professional, and it's fairly easy to do. So in the future, you can use this stamp set to do quick and easy cards. Well, these two stamp sets together make a nice finished card that you could be proud to send to any relative or friend, and cost quite a bit less than going to Hallmark. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys. Bye.